Coming up in tonight's show, Martin's journey, how I've got on this week with my own personal weight loss. Make sure you've eaten before this next section because this is guaranteed to get your taste buds tingling. Get your pen and paper at the ready because it is our low-calorie recipe of the week. And our topic of the week, as chosen by you guys, something that we can discuss and I can advise to help you on your weight loss or weight maintenance journey. What national days we have got to celebrate throughout this week. And finally, a little bit of a taster of what is coming up next week on your Mondays with Martin. So without further ado, it is time for this week's Mondays with Martin. Yes, welcome to Mondays with Martin, episode 10. So, this week we have got a great topic coming up for you. So this week's topic is crisis management. Okay, so what I mean by crisis management is anything that might crop up in your daily life that will disable or hinder your weight loss journey and that gets in the way of your diet. Oh, well, you know, I went off plan on this day and I couldn't stick to it because of X, Y, Z. So that's what the topic is this week, is because I want to try and alleviate any pressures and also get into why the one-to-one diet is absolutely fantastic for you when you're on this. Hey, Lindsay coming in with the hey, how you doing? You all right? And once again, I have started Mondays with Martin without having my tea. So I'm starving hungry. So when we get to the recipe section, I'm really going to have my belly rumbling. But it couldn't be helped this week because I had to do extra day gymnastics coaching. So I've come straight from gymnastics coaching here, hence why I'm in a lot of blue. But yeah. So what we're going to start with first? Well, we're going to start with, as we always do, it is Martin's journey. So this week I have lost. Thank you. And we'll leave it there. No, I've lost. No, this week I have lost 1/4 pound. So I'm pleased with that. It's not going as quick as I wanted it to, but a lot of that, I know where my issues lie with that, and I need to get my head back in the game, and this is a lot of the support that we give you guys. And it just also goes to show you that we understand, you know, we're human. We have these, Vanessa and I have these issues where we struggle occasionally, which is another good reason why I wanted to use the topic of the day of being crisis management. Good evening, Charmaine. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the cast. Hope you're well. So Monday, we'll get into that in a bit. Martin's journey. So yeah, I have lost 1/4 pound this week, which I am pleased with. A loss is a loss at the end of the day. I'm going to take these off because the light is reflecting on them. So a loss is a loss at the end of the day, and that is all we're aiming for. Now, there's no need to get disheartened when the loss isn't what you were expecting. You know, say you're on a diet and you're expecting to lose £3 a week, but you only lose 1/4 pound. Oh, I only lost 1/4 pound, so what's the point? Why write it off? A loss is a loss. It's still going in the right direction. So don't write it off. Crisis management, perfect topic. Yes, so if you've got anything that crops up in your daily life, when we get into the topic section, which we soon.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Lindsay coming in with a share. Make sure you hit me up with stuff in the comments now as to what gets in the way for you when dieting. What is it that causes your diet to come to a little bit of a stop? What things crop up in everyday life? Unexpected things that might crop up. That's what we want to go with on this tonight. Just bear with me. I need to do that. So, yeah, lost my train of thought there. So that's where we're going with on this tonight, on the topic. Yeah, so I'm still doing my exercises, albeit not as much as I should have done this week. I'm still doing the dog walk, albeit not as much as I should have done this week. And I'm still drinking my water. Guess what? Albeit not as much as I should have done this week. But, and that's one of the keys to maintaining your weight loss is actually the amount of water you're intaking. And you will find actually that if you just changed the amount of water that you're consuming, you might find that actually in itself will start to push you in the right direction with your weight loss. Because a lot of us, yeah, we drink tea, we drink coffee and stuff, but these don't actually necessarily age. You do need a certain amount of just literally plain water going through your system to be able to help flush all the toxins out, to be able to help flush everything out. All right. So these are all things. So this will aid along with a nice healthy balance. We're not saying eliminate carbs, but you don't need as many carbs as you do consume. So it's all stuff like that we're wanting to hit out on. And at the one-to-one diet, this is all stuff that we will aid you with, and we will talk you through and come up with a plan for you. So. Yeah, Jessica, welcome into the cast. How are you? Hey. Hope you're well. So, Jessica, you've just joined us. So, the topic of the week is, I tell you what, let's get into it. Did you like the new thing that we've got going on there? There we go. Is that better? I don't know why that was up so high. That's going to do it on the next one as well. Sugar. You can tell that I'm always prepared. I'm just trying to turn it down. Yeah, I will do. I'll repeat the whole lot. Bear with me. Let me just turn this bit down. All right, we'll start again. Ready? We will start this bit again.
Topic of the week.
So, yes, did you like that? My nice little intro, my new bit. I'm trying to make it a little bit more appealing to you. So this is exactly what I just said earlier. So the topic of the week is literally that crisis management. What is going to crop up in your daily life that was unforeseen, that's going to make you go, oh man, I can't stick to it. So, like, for me, thank you very much for the like there, Charmaine. So for me, you know, as you know, I'm a musician. Well, Vanessa and I are musicians, and I'm out every weekend traveling around the UK performing. And this is something that can actually get in the way for me, because obviously I'm up in the mornings and you need to have balance and routine to your diet. But when I'm sticking to plan, or when I'm on plan 100%, especially the lower plans, I'm up later when it comes to being out gigging. And obviously the energy that I've burnt off while I'm gigging means that I am very hungry at the end of a gig. So it becomes very difficult to, like, how do I stick to it? So I have to change my plan up a little bit at the weekends to ensure that I can stick on it. Okay. Right. I'm just making a couple of notes, Charmaine, of what you're commenting so I don't lose them in the comments. Okay, so like let's take for example Vanessa. Okay, Vanessa is Vanessa suffers from fibromyalgia and ME, okay? And it's very, I just draw myself. It's very hard to know how she's going to be from day to day, from minute to minute, from hour to hour. It's very, very difficult to know. And sometimes this can get in the way because she's either extremely fatigued or in extreme pain. So it's hard to try and keep that routine for her. So with stuff like Vanessa, it's more a case of as and when, but she's still sticking to plan. So she's got such good willpower. She's probably a bad example, but yeah, she probably is really a bad example for this, actually, because she's got so much willpower. I don't know where she gets it from, because it certainly ain't me. Okay, so going back to mine. So yeah, with me, I leading a rock star lifestyle, traveling all over the UK and being out of plans. So what I have to do is I have to break it down more. So like if I'm on our lower step, which is step 1, or step 2, you're on 4 products a day or 4 meals a day, okay? So, but then if I'm having breakfast into lunch, into dinner, then I've got nothing left afterwards, and that's where I kind of go off the rail a little bit with that, is because it's, okay, I've had my 4 products, but I'm so hungry because I've burnt off all this energy. And then it's a couple of episodes ago, we were going through the different stages of hunger, and for me then it is determining, am I hungry? Do I need food? Can I go without food? And it's working out that scale that we did a few episodes ago of what's going on here. Is it habit? Is it hunger? Or is it just a lack of energy? And it's working out where I lie there. So what I tend to do is actually break it up. So I'll move up a step. So I'm getting the extra calories in there. I'll stick to my breakfast, my lunch. And then what I will do is I will then break it down. So I will have breakfast and lunch and something before I leave for my gig. But then I leave myself, because I've stepped up a step to 1,000 calories. It then means that I've already had 600. I've still got 400 to have. Okay, so I can have those 400 calories after my gig on the way home. Or I'll have 400 calories before I leave, and then I've still got 200 calorie snack to have once I get back on there. Okay, so it's breaking down and it's being prepared, because now this was one thing I was going to say, it's preparing yourself for the crisis, because at the end of the day, without the preparation, failing to prepare is preparing to fail at the end of the day. If you fail to prepare yourself for anything, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing yourself for failure at the end of the day. That is the pure and simple of it. Now, 5 of the biggest things that barriers to our diet, and to change how and how to change to try and overcome them. You know, if we look at so changing your eating habits it's hard enough. Even with the best of intentions, ditching unhealthy food and getting into a healthy eating routine, it's a challenge in itself. One of the biggest things there is when we eat a lot of junk food, the high amounts of salt, the high amounts of sugar and that, our body, or carbs, our body then super craves that. So when you're trying to eliminate it, you do kind of get a bit of like withdrawal symptom, and your body wants it. And now my obsessive nature, my not obsessive nature, but my OCD in a sense, due to me ADHD, is my body super craves stuff. So it you know, it's like, I'll just have this bacon sandwich, but then for the next 2 weeks, my body will crave the carbs. I am a carb craver, which is really, really bad, and I can spiral, and I can circle that drain for a while, and then I will drop, which is why I was 4 stone. I was 4 stone lighter, and now 3 stone lighter than I was when I started, and that's because I circled that drain for a while, and then I dropped through it. So extreme focus, precisely. If you are struggling to eat better, you may be struggling with one of 5 barriers that I'm going to come up with. As a wellness dietitian, I've got some ideas to help you move forward. If you're facing any of these barriers, to try and change, okay? So one of the biggest things that I hear quite a lot from people is I just don't have the time to diet. This is one thing that makes the one-to-one diet absolutely fantastic, okay? is because it doesn't matter. A lot of you know the absolute hectic lifestyle that I lead, and it fits in so well because they are easy to prepare. We've got ready to go. We've got bars, we've got shakes. They're just grab and go, which is absolutely fantastic to keep you on plan, okay? So, especially like in a crisis situation, so like, God forbid, your child has an accident, needs to go to the doctor, needs to go to the hospital. So you've got to rush out. Okay, now the last thing on your mind is going to be grabbing a bar or something. But if you've got one product in your handbag, ladies, at all times, then you can take that out. You've got it on you at all times. So when it's preparing, we should always prepare for the worst anyway, you know, make sure you're prepared. So once you've got that product with you, if you need to dash out in a crisis, you need to dash out in a situation like that, then off you go, you're done. Does that make sense? You've got that product with you, you're cool. But grab a product and off you go. But in the same instance, you can be prepared for this. So I do online gaming, as a lot of you know, and I like to snack a lot. This is one of my downfalls. It's not crisis, but it's something that gets in the way, is I like to snack. But when I'm prepared, I prepare myself something like cucumber sticks, carrot sticks, etc. I can eat as much as... I can eat like almost a kilo of carrot for 200 calories. So that is something I can snack on throughout. A kilo of carrots is a lot of carrots, you know. So that's something I can snack. And it's having that prepared. Once you've got the time, have the time. Rather than sitting down watching TV, prepare something that's going to be quick, easy, and grabbable when you need it the most. Okay. You've also got... Hello, Terry. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. So you've also got... So, going on the lack of time thing. Good evening, Julie. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Remember, guys watching, and Kelly coming in on the stream. Make sure you hit that like button for me and share it with your friends. Greatly appreciated. So, lack of time, just like anything else that you want to achieve, you have to plan out your healthy eating. Put time on the calendar to plan your meals when you're doing your grocery shopping. You know, make your list. And the biggest thing is, don't shop when you're hungry. Never shop when you're hungry, because you will buy stuff that you crave. So, and prepare yourself. Then make it up. Make your snacks up for the week. Make your meal plan up for the week. Okay, one of my biggest things, so I did a recipe last week. I did the stew, which was done in a slow cooker. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for the like, Terry. So that's really fantastic, because you can get it all prepared, and this is brilliant. Prepare it the night before, okay? And then in the morning, you get up before you go to work, you chuck it all in the slow cooker, you put it onto low heat, and you'll go off to work. When you get home, that dinner is prepared, so you don't have that lack of time there, okay? You can freeze leftovers. Now, one thing that Litland loves lasagnas, so I'll make up a lasagna tray, and portion it up, and then that's Litland's stuff portioned up for the week, you know. Get your fruit snacks, portion them up. Get yourself some little tubs, some zip seal bags, portion them up and get them in there, so that you literally you've got everything prepared. And this is the biggest thing. Again, going back to what I said, preparation. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Preparation is the key to everything. Okay, so you need to make yourself time to prepare yourself for stuff that's going to come up and for the week. So if you're working a Monday to Friday job, Sunday evenings, get yourself sorted for the week, you know, or whatever day you do your grocery shopping, make sure that once you've done your grocery shopping, that evening is your preparation time. And now I'm not talking going to mass production cooking the whole week's meals. I'm just saying get yourself prepared, write stuff down and follow that plan, and be prepared for something that might crop up that you haven't been prepared for. So having salad boxes made up. You can poach some chicken breast, just shred that over the top, bit of salt and pepper, some spices, some herbs or whatever, and get that in the fridge. You've got a healthy snack there. Get your cucumber sticks made up, get your carrot sticks made up. These are all healthy snacks, okay? Prepare. That alleviates this lack of time thing. Another thing that, right, so let me just hit some of your comments a minute. So Charmaine said, bored eating. This comes again. What's going on, Josh? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thank you for the like. this then comes on to what I'm saying about be prepared with your carrot
Yeah,
sticks.
sharing is caring.
Thank you very much for the share as well, bud. So this, yeah, having your carrot sticks prepared, you know, and stuff like that. Water and some flares. I need a product, water and some flares. Why flares? I'm confused on the flares. Anyway, because then when you are bored, at least you're snacking on something healthy. Okay, the other thing as well, boredom eating, I do it a lot, or I can do it a lot, is drinking water. Now, one of the biggest things I'll push on you on this is our water flavourings. Because we've got, especially the golden veg water flavouring, because you can drink that hot and it actually makes your body think you've eaten it. It will really spin your head around on that, and then you're no longer... Oh, okay, flares are for my emergency grab bag, right. So yeah, chain of thought. I can't keep a track on this and my chat. I'm gonna have to do one or the other. So yeah, water, and that will stop you curb your bored eating. Also, do something else while you're doing it. Knit, crochet, cut your nails, paint your nails, do whatever. That will stop you bored eating. Don't fall into that trap. A lot of the other thing along the bored eating is some people, once they get tired, they'll start to eat. And the reason you eat when you're tired is because your body starts going, okay, you want to stay up, I need some energy to stay up. So you're going to give me that energy. And then what happens is we turn to the sweet things. Okay. You don't register what you're snacking on or how much you're snacking on. That, again, comes down to portion control and what I like to call cupboard surfing. I'm bored, I'm hungry, so you cupboard surf. You go for a little snack, you end up eating the whole, you know, oh, I'll have a couple of biscuits, you take the packet with you. Just grab a couple of biscuits. Again, coming back round to try snacking on veg or fruit and have it pre-portioned. Once you've got it, that's it. And drink more, because drinking will alleviate that. A lot of the time when we eat and we snack, it's more that we're thirsty as opposed to we're hungry. Yeah. So another issue that people have is they feel when trying to diet, is they're feeling overwhelmed. Don't try to make too many changes all at once, is all I'm going to say. This is why on the one-to-one diet, we put you for a preparation week. We get your body ready. We get you ready for it. Small changes can add up to a big impact, and it's so much more doable rather than making huge drastic changes all in once, because it will be overwhelming and it will be harder to manage, and you're going to be getting cravings that you didn't want to get. If you and by mastering smaller changes, it will help gain your confidence in little improvements. So it will slowly just become a natural part of your life, and then you won't need to overthink it anymore. Okay. Another thing that can get in the way with people is that all or nothing attitude. You know, once you've decided to change your eating habits, you may feel there's no room for mistakes. And at some point, you'll backslide a little bit, encounter a setback, like there's something's cropped up and you can't stick to it. A birthday party's come up and you didn't stick to it, you chose to, and then your mind change, that all or nothing mind change sets you back, and you go back to the way you were. And more often than not, because of the way we are, it just kills your metabolism and you end up putting on more weight. Okay. So remember, you're aiming for progress, not perfection. So just slow it down, make little changes to your eating habits first. Okay. Another thing that gets in a lot of people's ways is diet confusion. And what I mean by that is the enormous number of fad diets that there are out there, as well as the source of nutrition information. It can make healthy eating decisions very, very difficult and confusing. Again, this is why I press about the one-to-one diet, because you have us on at your fingertips. We are here to help you through it. The one-to-one diet isn't a fad diet. It is a healthy eating lifestyle. It is a life changer, and we have scientific evidence to prove and back us that it is for long-term progress and long-term maintenance. So I lost my own train of thought there. So this, you know, going through all the fad diets and the confusion of all the nutritional information that's out there, this can lead to trying too many different things, too many different diets, and following too many different nutritional advices, that you end up not having a healthy balance there. So you end up reverting. You need to work with a qualified and accredited dietitian like us at the One-to-One, like myself and Vanessa, because we will help cut through all this misinformation that's provided for you, come up with a plan that works for you and that we can implement, that is going to be easy for you to follow no matter what situation, no matter what lifestyle that you follow. And the other big one, which a lot of people complain about, is feeling deprived. So when you start a healthy lifestyle, it can mean giving up foods that you really like, like your pizzas or whatever. And the problem with that, and this is again where I come to small stages. Don't just knock it all back in one go, because then it becomes a lot easier to follow. So, but yeah, so eating healthier, sorry, train thought. So eating healthier, you can tell I've not written this down, doesn't mean going without. Look at all these recipes that I put out there for you guys. We've done a pizza recipe, we've done a kebab recipe, we've done a meatballs recipe. I've got so many recipes that are out there that you don't have to deprive yourself. You can still hold on to that healthy living and that healthy diet, because it's just a way of eating a variation and a moderation of different foods, and a variation of different foods and eating them in moderation, okay, and still maintaining that healthy balance. Vanessa and I, as dietitians, as consultants, can help you to learn how to balance your food and how to balance your love of certain foods within keeping in your healthy diet, okay? Now, there is a good... I'm going to do a recipe at some point for those of you like... I see Jess come up and said she loves craving sweet snacks. So I'm going to try and come up with a recipe for something like a sweet biscuit type thing, that's going to be low calories, that's going to be on a higher step. But I'm going to try and come up with it, and then this is going to take a lot of work around, so it's going to be a while before it comes out. But once I've got it worked out, I'm going to release that for you, and it will, for those of you that do crave the sweeter things in life. I mean, we've got jellies that eat as much as you want because it's on your water. Eat as much as you want, eat as much in moderation as you want to, because it's keeping within our... It's your water intake, okay? So there are stuff like that. And there's lots and lots of things. The One-to-One diet isn't all about product and meal replacement. It is about resetting your body and getting you into a healthy routine and healthy habits and healthy eating. I almost messaged you about that sweet treat recipe, yeah. So going into Terry, she says, what about people that have a loss of appetite? So the One-to-One diet is mainly helping you to lose weight, but as well, your loss of appetite can come. It's about managing. So you don't want to force yourself to eat it, but if you eat the right quantities at the right times and have that routine, you don't need to worry about that loss of appetite. A lot of the reason that we lose our appetite over things is because we fall into a bad habit of not eating regularly and not eating at the right time. So then it becomes awkward to eat, and the stresses of life can make us not want to eat. It's all that is all a case of how our brain's working and how we're foreseeing things on that. So it would literally just be a case of getting yourself into a nice balanced routine. You don't have to eat loads, but you can eat little and often, and making sure it's balanced throughout the day to keep your energy going, because otherwise what happens is our body just goes into starvation mode, and it will start to crave the sweet things and crave the bad things that we don't want in our body, and will push us into real bad habits. Okay, I hope that it helps you. Charmaine says, sometimes healthy food is more expensive. That's why I like your recipes, as you give advice on a number of servings. I just need to keep some leftovers and not eat the whole lot. Keep leftovers, or just don't cook the whole lot in one go. So like in this recipe that I've got for you tonight, it's a 2-pack of chicken breast, but I'm only using one. So I wrap it up airtight and freeze it for another time. I agree, healthy eating can be... I don't agree. Healthy eating doesn't necessarily actually equal more expense. Because like you have already put in there, it comes down to quantity at the end of the day. And if you're managing it properly, what I might start doing is putting the cost of each meal into my recipes for you as well. I'm just writing a note of this. And I can show you then I know what you mean. Some of the fruit. I mean, you mean some of the fruit and veg that support the meals. But if I cost this recipe out, okay. So cauliflower, yeah. Let's look at last week's recipe. So I did that stew with cauliflower rice. That one cauliflower cost 80p. The most expensive part of that was the beef. That was £6 for the beef. Meat is expensive at the moment. But if we break that whole recipe back down that I did last week. So you add 80p for the broccoli, 80p for the cauliflower, 20p for the onions. Can't even remember what I put in it now. But that whole dish, let's say that whole dish costs £8. It's served 4, that's £2 per person. No, the whole dish cost about £9, sorry. £9.50, let's say. So even if we round it up to a tenner, that's £2.50 per person. Is that expensive? Not really. It's the way you look at things. Don't look at the whole ingredient of what you've bought. It actually works out cheaper than you think. This is, again, another thing which comes about with confirmed bias. Everything in the news is telling us that eating healthy is too expensive. It really isn't. It's confirmed bias because you look at everything wrong. You need to actually look at the quantity of what you're using to the price of what that product is. That is literally what it comes down to. So if you buy a joint of meat, it would be good to have a couple of slightly different recipes to mix it up for interest within the week. I don't have lots of freezer space. Well, yeah, if you haven't got the freezer space and you're buying a joint of meat, you'd mix it up a little bit. But you can still have that as cold. You know, if you had a gammon, you could have cooked gammon and veg one day, but then you can have that cold the next day in a salad or something. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're doing a meal based on, okay, like the last week's stew recipe, you're doing a meal that's based on 4 people, but you're a single person or there's only 2 of you, rather than eating the lot, because that's what happens, break it down. You serve up your portion that you're going to have there, serve the rest into pots, cool it properly, freeze them. If you haven't got the freezer space, like you've just said, then you eat it later on in the week. When you cook a meal, that's going to last you... That once it's cooled and in the fridge, that's 5 days. You've got 5 days life from cooked. Okay? So you put that in the fridge for 5 days. As long as you consume that within 5 days, you're cool. Yeah? It's breaking it down. A lot of the cost of healthy eating actually comes from wastage and overeating. You know, you bought a pack of 2 heads of broccoli, okay? You don't need 2 heads of broccoli for that meal, but you'll cook them anyway because you bought them. No, save it and have the broccoli with something else later on. I use mince in my stews. Yeah, that's fine to use mince in your stews, but just use extra lean. You want less than 5%. Some places do less than 3% fat. Cut as much of the fat out as possible. Charmaine, I need you to sign that. You just called me sensible. I need you to sign that off. I've never known anyone call me sensible. But does that help? Is there anything else like that might get in your way of your healthy lifestyle, of your healthy eating lifestyle? What else might get in the way? Okay, Charmaine. Charmaine, you said about buckling under peer pressure for people getting treats. Okay. We don't say don't treat yourself. That's more likely when you're going to go off the rails because you're like, I can't. And in the end, you start to resent the fact that you're trying to lose weight. So, you come and visit us for argument's sake, and we decide we're going to get a takeaway of some sort from up the road. Portion control. Okay, let's use a Chinese as a for instance. So when we used to get a Chinese, I would get a portion of noodles to myself, a portion of curry to myself, a portion of prawns to myself, a portion of chips to myself, and a pancake roll to myself, and I would eat the lot. Right? So it's like now what I do is we will share. We don't, Vanessa's quite a fussy eater. That's not uncommon knowledge. So Vanessa is quite a fussy eater. So whereas I'll eat anything. So what I do is I will now share what Vanessa's having. Okay. And that, one, lowers the freaking cost of it, but two, that lowers our portion. You don't need to eat it all. The other thing as well is stick it in the fridge. So long as it doesn't have prawns in it, stick it in the fridge. So long as you reheat it properly the next day, you're going to be absolutely fine. Vanessa's popped in with that. Sorry. You always have something at work. Then you just take your own snack in, and that is where you need to talk to Vanessa. That is discipline and willpower. Say they bring a box of chocolates in. Just have the one. It's discipline and willpower. Just have the one. Does that make sense? The hard part for me was with my kids. If they didn't finish something, I would eat it or take a bite here and there. Self-control was my goal last month. Yes, I completely get so, like Lillian earlier. And it's so hard because I don't like seeing food go to waste. But Lillian, she'd finished her dinner. She hadn't eaten it all. And it's like, go scrape it. Because if I keep finishing them meals for her, it's detrimental. It is. And it is very difficult. But again, okay, so say that, Jess, say this happens often, that your kids aren't finishing their meals, okay, and they've got food left over. What does that tell you? You're over-portioning for your child, so make smaller portions. They can always have something else on top. So let's look at that instance for Jess then. So Jess has dished her kids up their food, and they haven't eaten it all on Monday. So Jess is like, I'll just finish it. She dishes out their dinner. They eat it. They don't eat it all on Tuesday. Jess finishes her dinner. If that's happening regularly, it means that you are putting too much food on that child's plate because they're not eating it all. Okay, so knock that down. If they finish their dinner and they're still, oh, mummy, I'm still hungry, give them a pudding. Get a yogurt in for them, or an ice cream or fruit. Why do kids have to have yogurts and ice cream all the time for their puddings? Give them a healthy, nice and healthy snack, but don't overface your kids. So dish it up to their portion control. We're on about portion control for you guys, portion control for your children as well. It really is. Like I said, for your children love to have pudding. So give them a smaller portion of the dinner. One, they're going to eat all their dinner. And then they can have a pudding afterwards if they are still hungry. And this is one thing to get into a routine from a young age as well, is if you're still hungry. Don't be pudding every single day, because then pudding becomes part of their food routine. Part of their food routine then means if they're getting full, but if I don't eat this, I'll still get a pudding. No, eat it all, because this is the nutritional bit and the pudding is the treat. They ask for all this stuff and won't eat it. Well, okay, so Vanessa says, that is a fair point. We often dish up for our kids, not far off from what we're eating ourselves. If a portion is a handful, then their hands are smaller than us. Yeah, quite. So, to be honest, you don't give your kids a choice. This is what is for dinner tonight. You eat it. You eat everything I dish up on your plate. Don't over portion it for them. You eat everything I dish up on the plate. You can have a pudding afterwards. The pudding can then be their choice. that is then you're controlling what they eat, health, nutrition, and you're not going to then be tempted to finish their plate off when they haven't eaten it. It's also driving to them, if they eat all their dinner, they get a treat afterwards. But don't tell them, don't let them tell you, dictate to you what they're having for dinner. You tell them, okay, tonight, guys, we're having spaghetti bolognese. If you eat all of it, you can have a pudding afterwards. If you don't eat it all, then you can't have a pudding. Now, when that comes to it and they want their pudding, they go, I can't eat anymore, I'm full. That's fine. You take the plate. If you're full, that's fine. You take the plate away. Can I have a pudding? No, you told me you were full. So if you're full, you can't eat pudding. If you're not overfacing them, they are genuinely still hungry afterwards, then they're going to get their treat afterwards. They're going to get that pudding afterwards. But don't overface them. They're going to eat everything that's on their plate then, and that's going to alleviate you eating what they haven't, which then in turn is helping you on your diet journey. Does that make sense? Without being telling on how to parent, I'm not meaning to be telling on how to parent. If any of that come out that way, I apologise. I'm just trying to help you. You dish up what it is they want. Dish up a decent portion. They'll eat it all. You then won't finish off their leftovers, keeping you on track. And Charmaine, we said about your thing. So is there anything else that could crop up that's going to put you off your diet? Not put you off your diet, but stop you from sticking to what it is that you're wanting to stick to whilst you're doing it? Because I'm running out of time and we need to hit the recipe. It's been really good this week, guys. Yeah, I think it was episode 3 or something. Vanessa says, my eldest had eating issues as a child and I was so concerned I cooked him anything he wanted. If he didn't eat it, I cooked something else and on it went. Needless to say, I put on a lot of weight. I think you touched most. You just want the recipe, Jessica. Yeah, Charmaine, I'll send you a message as to what episode it was. I think it was episode 5. It was about 5. Yeah, I think it was about episode 5. But yeah, okay, guys. So, we are going to move on now to the recipe part. If you've got any other comments or anything else, whack the comment in or send us a DM and I'll get back to you. You can always direct message myself or Vanessa and we'll get back to you with anything that you need, or we can use it as something else to touch on during the topics during the Mondays with Martin. Again, that also said, if you've got anything that you want me to discuss next week, I am indeed in need of a topic again. So hit me up in the comments below. Any topics for next week? It'd be greatly appreciated. This has been a fantastic one. We've really hit a lot. There's a lot of information gone in. You've been really engaging. This is brilliant. But, ladies and gentlemen, moving on.
Recipe of the week.
Yes. It is time for the recipe of the week. This is an absolutely fantastic recipe Now, you can use this on step 2 and above. I'd advise more on a step 3 level because it uses a product. This is a product hack one. 424 calories for this whole meal. Split between 2 of you, 212 calories per person. But without further ado, here is my recipe of the week. Here we go then, guys. My chicken tikka product hack. Beautiful recipe. Just 424 calories for the whole lot. Let's get into it. Alrighty then. So firstly, you're going to need one of our chicken tikka products. You're going to need 1 small chicken breast, 2 teaspoons of mild curry powder, 1 pack of skinny rice, 1 mini pepper, half of an onion, and about 6 button mushrooms. So take your chicken breast and we're just going to butterfly this nice and simple like that. And then we're going to slice this into nice finger strips. Add the chicken into a bowl. Place 2 teaspoons of mild curry powder on top. Then give it a really good stir, ensuring that all the chicken is nicely coated with the curry powder. Then set this aside for 5 minutes. Now then take your packet of skinny rice, open it up and drain off all the saline solution that it's stored in, and then rinse this thoroughly 3 times and then set it aside so it drains nicely. We're going to use this later on. Now take your half an onion and slice this. It's up to you how thick or thinly you slice it. And then we're going to pop this in the bowl with our chicken. Then we're going to take 1 mini pepper and we're going to slice this up. You can remove the seeds if you want. I like to leave them in. And pop this in the bowl as well and set it aside. Now take your 6 button mushrooms and just slice these up and set them aside to pop in the pan later. Now get a pan and get it nice and hot and add a few sprays of your low-calorie spray. Reduce to a medium heat. Add in your chicken, mushroom and pepper mix. Give this a good stir up and fry for around about 5 minutes, stirring every now and then. After 5 minutes, add your mushrooms in and let this cook for around about a minute. And then we're going to take our skinny rice, we're going to pop this in, give it a good stir up, and then we're going to cook this for 2 minutes. While that is cooking, we're going to make up our chicken tikka product to the pack specifications. So we're going to need 150 ml of boiling water. We're going to add this in and give it a really good stir up. Once it's stirred, we're going to transfer this into the microwave for 1.5 minutes. Give it a really good stir, another 2 minutes, and it's done. Now, these raw ingredients on their own are 224 calories, and you could have this on its own as a low-calorie meal on step 2 or above. However, we're doing a higher step product hack, so take your tikka now that it's cooked. We're going to add this into the other ingredients and stir it to make sure it's all bind nicely. Now take your bowl and simply dish it up. You can do half the amount per person, serving 2 at 212 calories each, or you can go the whole hog on step 3 or above, 424 calories. Absolutely delicious. Now remember, this is step 2 or above, but it is using one of your products. This is why I recommend for step 3 or above. But anyway, go ahead and try it. Leave a comment down below on how you got on with it. And remember, like, follow, subscribe for more tasty recipes from One-to-One Team Thomas. And what a fantastic recipe that was. Yeah, absolutely delicious. So, whilst we were watching that video, Jessica says, Vanessa, Thomas, yes, my middle has some issues which results in some wasted food. Me changing my eating has also helped change theirs, even them joining in with exercising with me. My husband just joined in this week too. Oh, wow. Jess. Is he healthy eating or is he exercising? He needs to lose it, I'm not going to lie. Love you, Josh. Oh, dear. Sorry. Love you, Josh. Yeah, so that was the product of the week. So, the recipe of the week. I have used the healthy eating part. I have used a product in that one. So, yeah, sorry about that. But the first part of it, if you're not on our plan, you can use a 224 calorie meal. You'd probably want to add a bit more flavouring in there. It's going to be a bit bland, so add some salt and pepper. But because of using the product, just strip it right back. Remembering that our products actually contain 1/3 of your daily nutritional value. Okay, so on our lower steps. So step 1, you're using 4 products. That's 1 1/3 of your daily nutritional value. On step 2, that is using 3 products. So you are already getting your full amount of daily nutritional value and your meal on top of that. And this is all about training your brain into healthy eating and letting it just become absolute second nature to you guys. Okay, this is essentially what the 1-to-1 diet is. So going back, because I
Absolutely hate it.
with the stigmatism around diet and the word diet. Diet literally means the food that you are consuming. We either have a healthy diet or an unhealthy diet, a balanced diet or an unbalanced diet. And if you are really bad, you have an unbalanced, unhealthy diet. That we really don't want. Okay. So what we do as 1-to-1 diet consultants is we, 1, reset your body with product replacement. Okay. With meal replacement. We're resetting your body to get that start for the weight loss. Then we are training you through the steps, through each step, as we slowly increase the amount of conventional food that you're eating. We are slowly increasing and training your brain to understand what it is that it needs. Okay, so I touched on this last episode that our brain contains, our bodies contain 2 hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Leptin and ghrelin. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I've lost my notes from last week. But the leptin, leptin, something like that. That is the one that is our one that tells us that we're full. That also tells us that our brain, hey, you are getting the right nutritional value to carry on burning calories, and you don't need to store anything. We're all good. Whereas ghrelin is your hunger one, and it is also the one that goes into overdrive and will then start fat storing and storing the wrong stuff and making you crave the wrong foods. So that is all what we're about at the 1-to-1, is retraining your body, retraining your brain, and retraining you into eating healthily and it being second nature. With Vanessa and I, it is completely second nature. It is absolutely easy to us now. I always tell people I'm not on a diet. I made a lifestyle change to eat healthier. Definitely. It's healthy and it's healthy living. Diet literally is the fuel that we put in our body. It's literally the food that we are eating. And that is exactly it. I am not on a diet. I am on a healthy eating, a healthier lifestyle. And that is exactly it. And the other thing about it is when you eat a healthy, balanced diet, you quite literally feel so much better for yourself. The dopamine levels goes up, your endorphin levels go up, everything goes up, your energy levels go up, and it is absolutely amazing. But kind of brings us to the end of episode 10. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic's been absolutely fantastic, and you've been absolutely amazing tonight with getting involved in everything tonight and the chat. This is what I want from you guys more often. I've never felt better. And you won't. You won't. Honestly, healthy eating really does boost everything for you, mentally and physically. I was just about to say that. But you guys have been amazing. Let me know, DM me here at 1-to-1 if 1-to-1 Team Thomas, if you can think of a topic for next week, anything that you want to discuss. Remember, guys, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is it's youtube.com @1-to-1 Team Thomas. We're also on Linktree. I forgot to put the link in the description tonight. I apologize about that, but it is linktr.ee/1-to-1 Team Thomas. You got all our socials there. Absolutely everything is on the Linktree. Remember, like, follow, share this with everyone. I'll be back next Monday from 7:30 with a fish recipe. Yes, you heard me correctly. I am doing a fish recipe. Okay, this is something that I have discussed. Thank you very much for sticking that link tree in the comments there, Vanessa. So this is something I discussed a few weeks ago. I will be doing a sea bass recipe for you. Absolutely gorgeous. So make sure you tune in next week on Monday, 7:30. But remember, guys, thank you very much, and choose you, choose us, and together as one, we can have a healthier future. See you next week.